Hey guys, here's Ray. Today we're doing a Q&A about art, and yeah, I asked people to ask me questions on Instagram, and you did, surprisingly. I thought nobody was gonna ask anything, but you did ask a few questions, so I'm gonna answer them today. The first question is, are you self-taught? Yes, I am self-taught. I never went to art school, but yeah, the only thing I've ever been taught about art was in school, regular school, art class. We had to copy like things we saw, like shoes or trees and Van Gogh's paintings, but we couldn't really be creative, so yeah. Next question. Have you ever committed an art sin? Art sin means tracing art theft, or not crediting. Which is kind of about that. Yes, I have. I used to be a very terrible person. When I was like 14 or something, I used to take people's anime art and I would edit them and edit the hair of like an anime girl and like the eyes, and I would be like, that's my OC. It was terrible. I also traced over these anime arts, and I posted that, and I never credited the artist, and I was terrible, but I grew out of it, thankfully, and I'm very much against it. But yeah, yes, I committed art sin, art theft, tracing, bullshit. I wish I could like go back in time and slap myself across the face. Which artists inspire you the most? I don't really have like specific artists that inspire me, except I used to be very inspired by Jamie Hewlett, the guy that draws the Gorillaz art, and Tenko comics. But yeah, I went away from that because I didn't like how I pretty much copied his style. And another thing I'm inspired by, like my simple style is inspired by Okami, the game Okami. It's a really nice game. It's very cute. Yeah, that's kind of all. The best way to start improving good art techniques to learn. The best way to improving is obviously practicing. But a good thing to learn is just study anything you want to draw. Like, study from real life. If you can like go outside and draw what you see. You can look up references on Instagram, on Pinterest, on Google, I don't know. Another good thing is tutorials on Instagram or Pinterest or YouTube or speed arts are very helpful sometimes. Sometimes you draw something but you don't know how, like you don't know where to start, so it's very good to look up tutorials on that. Yeah. And yeah, just practice a lot and draw from life. And look up tutorials. That's all. Who or what was your first inspiration to draw or create art? I don't remember. I think I used to read these Donald Duck comics, and I used to always think they're really cool as a kid, and I always drew Donald Duck. I copied the drawing I saw in the book, in the comic book. So that was like one of the first things I always drew. I also really liked to draw fairies because I was really into fairies as a kid. Yeah, Donald Duck and fairies. When did you really start doing proper art? And when and how long have you been doing art? I've been doing art since I was a kid, but I've started doing proper art and taking it seriously in 2015. That's when I also stopped like tracing and copying and doing all that bullshit. So like 4 years ago I started like doing my own art, like proper art. yeah. How many OCs do you have? Oh, I have a ton of OCs. Maybe, definitely over 10, and I always neglect them. I should draw them. I should draw them more often. If you want to get to know all of my OCs, then if that's something you want to see, maybe comment. I don't know. Maybe I'll make a video about them. Do you use watercolors? And if so, what watercolors do you use? And what paper? I do use watercolors sometimes. They're really fun. I used to think they were awful because I'm really bad with brushes. I still am. But yeah, I can show you what watercolors I use. They were pretty expensive and they're very small. So, but they're very good. So I'm gonna show you. I use the Koi watercolors. They're very nice. They cost me like, I don't know, with shipping like 50 euro or something, I don't remember. You get a little sheet with like all the colors and the names. Then you have this thing where you can mix your colors. And then here's the colors. I have about 3 types of paper that I have used. Let's start with the shittiest one first. I got these for very cheap in a Greek store that just sells pretty much everything from art supplies to decorations and toys. So this is like a very cheap Greek art block thingy. I drew a koi fish or something. And I don't like this paper at all because the paper's like, when you put too much water on it, it gets really, like it starts to fall apart, it starts to dissolve. And I hate that, like it's terrible. So the big ones of these block aquarellas are very bad. It just means watercolor block, like aquarel block. Do you say block in English or do you just say book, like notebook, like sketchbook? I don't know. I don't know if you say block in English. I have no idea. Then we have these also from the same store. Yeah, there's like, it's not a brand at all. It's not a brand. It's just from the store that I go to in Greece, the cheap store. This paper is a lot better. It doesn't dissolve as much. It still does. I don't know if you can see. Here's my OC Carrie. She's a candle. But it's very good for sketching. Like when you erase, it doesn't hurt the paper too much. So I drew myself. So for sketching, it's pretty good. For watercolor, it's okay, but it's not the best. And the best one I've used is also from the store. Also, it doesn't really have a brand. I'm sorry that these don't have a brand. I just use very cheap art supplies most of the time. It's a watercolor artist pad, that's just what it says. That's the title. But there's only 10 sheets. It's a more textured paper as the other ones. The other ones are more than the other ones. The other ones are more smooth. Yeah, I did this last year. It's me. But yeah, it's kind of textured. And that's nice. And it doesn't, the paper doesn't like dissolve. And it holds a lot of water and it doesn't bleed through. Next question. Mechanical or wooden pencils? Mechanical pencils, because you can draw a lot smaller with them because they're so thin. And I like to draw small because my drawings turn out better when I draw small. And you can get more details with them. Do you think that it's better to sketch with a colored or with a normal pencil? I think like it's nicer to sketch with a colored pencil because it doesn't show up in the finished drawing as much, and it doesn't like smudge as much. But they're very hard to erase, and I have to erase a lot in my drawings because my sketches are very messy. So I always use a normal pencil. Yep, I wish I could use colored pencils. can't. I have to erase too much and they're very hard to erase. And the very last question is, what do you use to draw digitally? Okay, a few things. The first thing I use to draw digitally is paper and pencil. So yeah, basically I sketch everything I draw digitally, I sketch on paper first. Then I scan it into my printer, I scan it into my computer, and then I do the outline, like the line art and the coloring, I do digitally. And for that, I use this Wacom Cintiq 13 HD drawing tablet. It's very expensive, it cost me over €900. Comes with this pen, where this side you can erase with it, like you can erase, and with this you can draw. It's a display tablet, so you can plug it into your computer with an HDMI cable, and then you can see what you're drawing on there. But I never do that, so it's kind of a waste of money. I fucked up. But it's a very good tablet. Sometimes I have to like hit it so that it works again, because sometimes it like acts weird and I have to hit it. But then it works fine. I don't know if that's just my tablet, but yeah. Okay, so that was all the questions. I hope you liked this video, and if you have any more questions you can comment them and I'll answer them. Yeah, that's all. I hope you have a good day. Bye. Thanks for watching.